tough sanctions on banks that are implicated in colluding in currency trading. It says if the Competition Tribunal finds the banks guilty of manipulating currencies, they must be charged with sabotage. The governing party was reacting to the Competition Commission's decision to refer to a collusion case against 17 banks for prosecution. 3 local banks, that's Absa, Investec and Standard Bank, are reportedly involved. The Competition Commission says it has been investigating price fixing and the trading of currency involved in the rand since April 2015. It has found that banks have an agreement to collude on prices for bids. The ANC Women's League has called on the government to stop doing business with the implicated banks. In a statement, the League says it welcomes the Commission's decision to prosecute the banks. The League has also called the government to establish a state-owned bank. And Absa and Investec have both pledged to cooperate with the investigation. SABC News spoke earlier today to the Deputy Commissioner of the Competition Commission, Harden Ratsisusu, for more about this disclosure and on collusion in general.
We have referred the case to the tribunal for prosecution, having found that these entities have contravened the Competition Act by fixing the price of foreign exchange as they embarked on various spot transactions in the banks they work for.
Do we have a culture of collusion and price fixing and in the end cartel-like behavior that's developed in South African business?
What we have seen in a lot of sectors in South Africa is the pervasive nature of anti-competitive conduct, which should be worrying for the economy. It worries us as the regulator of competition in the country. You are correct. There is a huge number of investigations in a number of sectors that we are currently investigating. We have finalized, as you know, in the past, construction cases. We have finalized cases in bread. But I can tell you now, there are many cases that we are investigating and many others in excess of 60 that are before the Competition Tribunal that involve specific cartel conduct. So this is something that we think is quite rife in the economy, and is something that we are tackling head on. And I think with the resolve that we have, we will tackle the problem until business understands that anti-competitive behavior is not accepted in this country.
This kind of behavior that we see in South Africa, that's almost become endemic in business practice. How does it affect small business? How does it squeeze small business out of the picture in South Africa specifically?
This is a very, very big problem because anti-competitive practices tend to be a barrier to entry in many of these markets. I give an example. A cartel, in the true sense of the word, is a club of very few connected individuals who agree on certain times to raise prices, and in that way, they also exclude people that are outside of that club. We are concerned about such conduct. There is conduct relating to abuse of market dominance, where you are finding big companies exploiting the very same small businesses that rely on them for services. So these are the things that are quite important to tackle, and I think we have seen that small businesses, and many of them file complaints with us, are confronted with anti-competitive conduct on a daily basis, and we continuously engage, investigate with a view to resolve some of these. I mean, you would have noted recently we have been looking at the aftermarket automotive sector.
Yeah.
We are going to have a workshop to engage, and I can tell you most of the entities affected there are SMMEs.
Now, the president talked about change in the competition laws in the country. How do you think it's going to ease your work, the work that you do, and then open the market for small business?
We definitely welcome the changes that are coming through as they seek to strengthen the Competition Act. This is very important because As we have been implementing this act, we have identified gaps, which gaps we have relayed back even to government, to our minister responsible, that for us to be effective in this way, there are certain areas that may need to be strengthened. And one such area is to deal with market concentration. We have been very good with dealing with cartel conduct. We are very effective in major regulation, but there are gaps in the manner in which we have addressed market concentration in the economy and the spread and of ownership in a number of sectors.
Now, the SABC News also spoke to the executive